Welcome. What's up, YouTube community? And welcome to InvestDesk, your #1 channel for investing in cryptocurrency with daily updates, news, forecasts. My name is Syed, so welcome. And today we're going to take a little bit deep dive into taking a look at how the market is reacting and the market crash, so to speak, a little bit here. And then, of course, more importantly, we'll analyze what's happening with Dogecoin. And of course, with some good news in the pipeline that I'm going to be sharing as we move forward. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. And if you like the conversation, like the content, please hit the like button. I'd appreciate your support. All right, so we'll start with the price itself and just kind of take a look at where the price is heading and what's going on. So let's see. Let me first fix up a few things here a little bit more so we know. Here we go. All right, let me bring up the chat here also so it's easier for everyone to sort of like be connected, and that's what I would like to do. All right, so just give me 1 second here before we actually begin. I love doing live streams because it gives us all a chance as a community to get together and just talk about different strategies. Of course, a disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor, but it's all speculation. But we do our research and we choose the best strategy or strategies moving forward. All right, so where is this chat window? There we go. And let me pull it up one more time. Perfect. So I'm going to make this a little smaller so we can see the charts as well. Awesome. So, all right, welcome back, guys. So let's take a look at what Dogecoin is actually doing, okay? So let me make this a little bigger so you can see that the current price is at 0.046 and it went down all the way to 0.41, which was a great time to buy. And of course, I don't stay behind on some of these opportunities. I see these as opportunities, by the way, and that's just my own personal take on this. But it depends on your own strategy, whether you want to hold long term or not. But we're going to talk about the actual Dogecoin being on the bearish side, right? So 0.0468, it's just trying to recover, it's trying to go up, but it's kind of holding steady here. I know a lot of you are thinking, well, geez, it's down and we're going to lose money. Well, don't lose hope, guys. That's how it works. That's how the stock market works. Okay, I remember when Bitcoin was like 20-some thousand and it came down all the way to 3,000 and everyone started panicking, right? So no need to panic, just hold your horses because we're in it for the long run, and that's the idea, and that's what we're going to be doing. Okay, all right, so let's see, do we have some people online? Yep, people are coming up. Awesome. Welcome from my side. And let's take a look at the causes, right? So I'm going to talk about what is actually happening and why is it that we see this downward trend for Dogecoin, right? So in this video, we're going to take a look at, the buying the dips, right? Or whether you want to sell or rebuy at a lower price. So this morning there was a big drop in all of the crypto markets, okay? And this is an awesome time to be buying actually, but it looks like we're at a big dip right now, right? And so if you buy now, you've got a great opportunity, as the crypto markets recover and come back up. And you're going to see more stocks, want to go down, they want to see a big dip, and you're going to buy at lower price. So averaging down is when you actually bought a security up at a certain price and the price is lower. And the average cost is the average of all of the transactions that you've actually made at whatever that price was, right? So now, when you buy at a lower price, your average cost is going to go down. Sometimes when you're investing, you actually bought it at a lower price and the prices have gone up. And the prices have seemed to come down a little bit, but your average cost is actually lower. If you buy higher, that's actually called, averaging up. And that can happen because some people don't like the average up. They want to see the low average cost. But when you do that, you've got more funds available and you want to buy more because you think the security is going to keep going up in the future. And you might miss out, by the way. So averaging up is not a bad plan. You want to get the most Dogecoin. Let's say, you'll be able to reap all the rewards in the future. But if you're at a point where the prices are high and you think it's going to go down in future, there's been a huge breakout and you think it's going to retrace, for example, and you might be tempted to just sell all your Dogecoin at a higher price. And then when the price comes back down, then you rebuy. Now you've got a new average cost, and that's whatever lower prices are there, right? And you might have actually bought really low and the price goes way up and you sell it all. Take all the profit and then you rebuy. Okay, that's called pumping and dumping, right? So the idea is that look for the average cost. What you've done is you've taken all that profit and you've rebought and you start again. Of course, there's some risk, okay? And you don't know what the prices are going to go down because you're really betting on it like gambling, right? What if you sell everything and sell it at a high price and the price keeps going up? Well, then you're going to be chasing that, right, as it goes up and end up buying more, maybe at a higher price, right? And you're not going to be able to get as many Dogecoins. And there's another strategy some investors use, such as the half strategy. So when the strategy goes up, you only sell half of it and take profit. The other half you keep at the low cost when you bought in. Then when the price goes down, you rebuy using half of those funds that you had, and that kind of messes up your average cost, okay? And you're going to be able to secure some profit there, right? So again, the strategy still has the same kind of gambling attitude, right? I'm talking about, especially with Dogecoin, right? So it might just keep going up. Then you sold half of your stocks or securities, right? And then prices are still going up, and you're chasing that, price. So when you look at the charts, it's easy to see where the peaks are, dips are. Oh, I should have sold here. I should have bought here. That's easy to do going back in history, right? But do not second guess yourself. Make the best decision for yourself at whatever point it is. But when you're alive and you don't know what's going to happen in the future, right? So you're, like for example, my strategy is average cost, right? You keep buying in at a lower price when you have funds available and you don't mess with it. Because you don't want to get too worked up about it, right? Where the high is going to be, where the low is going to be. Because it's a full-time job, of course, if you're, like me or some other people, as you're watching trades up and down, high points and low points, because you really don't know. But now I've shown some of these big wallets that in my earlier stream and strategies, how they've been doing. And they've got hundreds and millions of coins they've been buying and selling. They can actually move the market, right? So the price goes up, then they do the selling. So us small-time retail traders, we can't move the markets, right? I wish we could, but that's the way it is. So we just have to follow along and just kind of choose the best strategy. So my strategy is just buying in when you have funds available at the lowest price you think it's at, right? And don't try to rush in as the price is going up because, right now the way it's trading, you don't know, right? It's just best really to look at a big spike when it comes back down, trying to see when it's going to come back down a little bit more so you can buy more, and then hopefully it goes back up. So if you look at the chart here, you'll notice it's probably a good time to buy, right? Because you want to be able to buy low and then you want to sell high, okay? So here's the chart for Dogecoin that you see. It's trading at, let's see, 4.6, right? It was a big dump, almost all the way down to 4.1. And believe you me, hey, I was one of the, at least several among you who actually got in on this, right? So that's quite a big drop here for even Bitcoin. If you take a look at the Bitcoin or Ethereum, you'll see everything is dropped. But Dogecoin is holding up steady as compared in relation to Bitcoin. So if I were to take a look at Bitcoin's chart here, if you want to look at the bigger picture where you are with Dogecoin, Dogecoin is still performing pretty well, in my opinion, as compared to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin right now is just 47,000. It was at 58 yesterday. So that's a big drop for Bitcoin, right? So the idea is that all of the cryptos are down. But if you look at the chart, it's easy to say, well, I could have bought here at this dip and I could have sold here on this rise and then buy again, right? But you don't know, okay? So let's go back to Dogecoin. And there's just one whale wallet in Dogecoin that we're just all talking about in the last week or so, right? There's someone with a lot of Dogecoins buying high with high average cost, right? And then moving forward, and I've seen this, I've demonstrated this list in the previous stream, so go check that out, where I talk about Whale's wallet and how, how many, the actual percentage of the wallet size, okay? So those of you tuned in, hey guys, if you hit the like button, I'd appreciate it. And where is my jar? That is our subscription jar. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification so you get the best of the best and latest updates and strategies as we move forward. So, and these big whales, are buying like hundreds of millions of Dogecoins. And here we are, right? Think about it. So we're at, 0.04, 1, 0.05, 55. So, people or the big whales have bought in at 0.8 cents. And they probably thought that it's going to go up, right? And many of you might be in the same position. And when it was, today's time, when it was going down, it didn't, right? So, and that's really what you see here is when you're talking about big whale wallets, right? So one of these wallets that I showed earlier, 1.9 billion Dogecoins, right? And the current value was about, let's say, $80 and $90 million, right? So when these wallets bought in, they bought it at a higher rate, right? So the individual who bought it at millions of dollars, they're down $25 million, right? So you'll be surprised as some of these wallets would buy more or less, okay? So what average cost means is that what you need to do is just create a spreadsheet. And I'm going to create that, and just kind of maybe share it and put a link in the description. So what you do is you basically take a look at your average cost of buying and you kind of document all of this in an Excel spreadsheet. And as soon as you do that, you actually get to start to find out what your average cost is, right? And of course, with that, it gives you a very clear picture when you talk about average costs, okay? And if you can maintain this cost below the actual threshold level that you decide, then it's much easier. Then you don't have to worry about these big dips or spikes and so forth. It's always better to focus on like dollar average costing, right? We talked about that in one of the earlier streams. So you can go check that out. In the other videos, I talk about that in depth, right? So there are other cryptos like you can actually do the same thing. So not just Dogecoin, but BTC, Ethereum, or Cardano, or XRP, whatever it is that you have it in your portfolio. So the idea is that for each of these, you need to have average costing done, okay? And you want to maintain that maybe in an Excel spreadsheet so you know exactly what's going on. And that way, overall, when you actually link up all of these average costing and your portfolio itself, you'll be much better shape that way, okay? So average costing is our topic, okay? And that's what we're talking about. Not just, it's not just Dogecoin dropping, by the way, it's the whole crypto market, okay? So you're looking at the opportunity for buying, and if you have some funds available and you want to get into, let's say, Litecoin, for example, For $150, maybe $49.50 is an attractive price, right? Same thing with Dogecoin. So, and of course, there's some tax implications too. So keep that in mind. So you are going to, buy and you want to sell it. You're going to be paying some short-term capital gain taxes, right? So keep that in mind. That end of the year, you have to, pay tax on higher profit, and you rebuy, you start again. And likewise, if you bought it at a higher price and you sold it at a lower price, even just a portion of whatever you basically owned, right? Then you would have it a loss, right? So you have to rebuy back in within 30 days, which is you wouldn't have to then claim that loss, right? So you should probably look up and see how that pans out for you, okay? So, and talking about average cost is really only matters at tax time, right? Whether you have a profit or loss. So remember, buy the dips. Hopefully, when Dogecoin eventually goes to the moon, right? Then that's what we're hoping. It's not going to matter whether it's going to buy it 4 cents, 5 cents, right? You're going to be all going to be celebrating, right? 10, 20, or even $1. So whatever your average cost was, that's really not going to matter at that point in time. But this is exactly what I'm doing, right? And I'm holding, so when I get more funds, I buy more, okay? Because I think Dogecoin is going places, okay? And I'm not a financial advisor, only investment, I make my own investments. So leave some comments. So let me know what you think. Who's holding Doge? And then make sure you subscribe if you have not already, so we can take a look at other strategies that I use myself and I share this. And these dips have been, if you notice that one of the dips that I'm going to show you here on Dogecoin basically occurred back in, it was close to February 15th, right? 14th or 15th, that was Valentine's Day. So there's another dip, right? Similar dip that we're experiencing today. All right, so a couple of weeks ago, there was another dip, and it went all the way down to 0.47. But it shot back up to 0.63 almost, right? So this is another dip that we're seeing today, where yesterday was holding steady at 0.55 and actually went all the way up to 0.59 or even 0.60, right? It touched one time, and then right now, since all of the crypto markets are down, we had an all-time low of 0.041. So same thing. If I bought it at this price, and maybe the next few days, if my cost or average costing of buying remains low, which is at 0.04, 0.03, even 0.35 because I bought it early on, and what happens if the price goes to 0.06? Well, I just doubled my investment, right? Doubled the price. So if I had, let's say $20,000, and my average cost is at 0.04 or 0.03, it goes to 0.06. My $20,000 is going to be $40,000, right? But again, that depends on whether I like to sell at that high peak and then wait for it to come down. And that's really something that it's your own, of course, decision, whether you want to cash out, pump and dump, you want to hold it for the long run and keep accumulating at these lower prices. So again, different strategies, right? Whether you're focusing on average costing or whether you're focusing on just basically pumping and dumping, either way. But what I do is for myself, I'm in the long run, so I try to keep my average cost down, and that's the goal. Because when you're keeping your average cost down, that helps in the long run, okay? But if you're just speculating and just buying and selling every single day, and so that's fine too. You could do that. But it's really up to you whether you want to do that or you want to be able to work on the average cost. So our goal in this live stream is to just kind of talk about average costing, okay? And that's what we are going to be working on and making sure that I'm going to change the title here, by the way, too, guys. Average costing strategy, and then we have Dogecoin price prediction, Dogecoin live. Okay, all right, perfect. So yeah, comment down below, let me know what you think, let me know what kind of works for you and what is your strategy, or whether you're holding or you're just doing the daily pump and dump thing. But average costing is what really matters, okay? And that's important. So if I were to take a look at the original graph here, just kind of switch to the original graph for Dogecoin, you'll notice the lowest dip it had was at 0.41, okay, and currently is at 0.46, and the this was on 2/23/2021, right? So February 23rd, it was at 0.51. So that's a almost like 5%, 5 to 10%, where you can actually gain if you were to buy low at 0.41. Okay, and another thing I want to do is always use limits. Okay, so try not to buy at market price. So when you want to buy Dogecoin or any other cryptocurrency, always use limit orders, so you know exactly when you place a limit order, you're telling the exchange that, all right, so if the price drops down to 0.041, for example, buy 10,000 Dogecoins, for example. So then the transaction will be automatically happening for you. Whereas if you buy a market or spot orders, for example, then you'd actually end up, when your price actually gets finalized, it actually is a little higher than 0.41, because the exchange kind of takes a look at the time when it closes for you. Okay, whereas the limit, you know exactly the price that you want to buy it at. Okay, so always buy it at limit, guys. So there's another important tip. All right, so here's the overall kind of graph that you can see, and we see a huge upward trend for Dogecoin, just kind of leveling off, kind of going down a little bit. And this is, again, not just with Dogecoin, guys, the entire crypto market. Bitcoin is down, it is 46. Yesterday it was at 48. So the idea is that you want to be able to take a look at when you're what is your current strategy. So again, mine is average costing. So I want to make sure that my average cost stays way low, as low as possible. So I look for these dips, and that's the best way to kind of find out and learn when we talk about average costing and as a buying strategy. All right, so if you're in the long run, that's what you want to be. Okay, all right, guys, let's see. So we talked about average costing, which is a great strategy, and the entire crypto is down, which is good, because it will bring my average cost of buying down. All right, I know, nothing to panic, right? So we're not here to panic. We're just here to understand the long-term investment strategy, right? Keeping your average costing down is important. All right, and not getting into pumping and dumping, because then you're really sometimes, and I talked about this earlier on in depth, where you're just buying low, but let's say if you sell high, right, what happens? Then you have to wait for it to come down again, and in the meantime you're just holding, right? You're not doing a whole lot. Okay, whereas as an average costing strategy, it's important and it's easier, okay? Because overall, if you were to create an Excel spreadsheet, and I have it, I'll share it with you guys. I'll put a link in the description when we talk about average costing of how do you cost your entire portfolio. So whether you're Bitcoin, whether you're a Dogecoin, or whether you're holding, let's say, Cardano or other portfolios. So calculate average cost for your purchase, and that will give you a solid idea or understanding of what your average cost is. Okay, so like for example, my average cost is a little less than 4. Okay, so I'm down here, my average cost of purchasing Dogecoin over a period of time. Now if it goes down, I gotta accumulate more, right? So that gives me two benefits. First, actually I'm buying low, right? And second, my average cost also remains steady and very low. Okay, so what's the goal, right? That depends on your own strategy, right? Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but that's what I do it for myself, and for me it kind of works, okay, in the long run. And what exactly what we mean is the fact that, you know, we need to understand how we're going to work. Okay, so whatever Dogecoin I've accumulated, right? And again, Dogecoin, you know, if you invest, you want to make sure that you want to understand why Dogecoin is a solid investment and why I was willing to take this investment, right? So hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification. I certainly appreciate it, right? So all right, let's take a look at a comment or two here. So do you think it's all right? So do you think after this, you know, Doge will pop out? Well, it's again certainly cyclical, right? So everything is cyclical. So you have to remember, if you look at the historical charts of all currency, stocks, bond trading, it's always a cyclical movement. So if you think it's down now, well, what are you going to do, right? If you're going to sell, you're going to be lost, right? But if you're going to buy, you're going to accumulate some wealth in the long run, and that's my strategy, guys. Okay, so yes, definitely it's at 0.41. It was at 0.4. What if it goes to 0.46 again, like it was yesterday? Guess what? I almost double your investment. So if I bought, you know, $10,000 worth of Dogecoin today, right now, right, and let's see what the price is at 0.46, right? So it's up a little bit. It was at 0.41. And it goes back up to 0.55, where it was averaging just a day or two earlier, right? Right here. You can see it on the chart. It was holding steady. And if you check out my other streams, I talked about the the stabilization here, right, in depth. And then it kind of either went up or went down, right? So there was a little upward trend, and then of course the entire cryptocurrency. So it's not just Dogecoin, all right? It's not just Dogecoin. It's just the entire crypto is down. Market is down. So for example, if you look at Bitcoin, you'll see it's at 47,000, right? Almost 47,800 something. And yesterday it went as high as 58,000. So think about this. And now think about Dogecoin, right? So if you were at 0.055 and it's at 0.45, well, that's not too much of a dip, but yes, there's a certain percentage down, right? So this is the perfect time when you're actually working and trying to work on your average costing, okay, for each of your stocks in the portfolio, each of your cryptocurrency within your portfolio. All right, so where's the jar here? So welcome everyone. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I value your support, your feedback, and leave comments below so I know who's holding, what the strategy is. We're talking about the average dollar cost for purchasing your cryptocurrency, and that's the strategy that we're kind of discussing right now and talking about what is the best way moving forward. And what we've seen, what I do it for myself, is I try to lower my average cost over a period of time. So when you do that, that kind of helps quite a bit in the long run, because you're buying low, right? And then your average cost of purchasing, let's say you buy at 0.41, 0.45, maybe 0.5, right? Something like that, but your average always remains low. And that's another way. So for example, if you've bought at a higher price, well, this is the time to buy again. So definitely overall, you're going to lower your average cost, right? It's just simple mathematics. And I'm going to maybe give that Excel spreadsheet later on too, so you guys can actually work off of it and just kind of calculate your average dollar cost pricing for your cryptocurrency. All right, let's see. Some comments coming up. A lot of so going for long run, yes, good idea. I do the same. So the idea is that yes, it's cyclical, so we go down, we go up, and that's what we're hoping to move up as we move forward. But more importantly, guys, it's the average cost. So if your average cost is low, well, you don't have to then worry about too much, because then if it shoots up, okay, you're actually benefiting twice, so to speak. Your average cost is low, and then at the same time, you're actually going up quite a bit, right? And then you don't have to buy at a high peak. You still have to wait and just kind of hold and see how things are moving up. And of course, keep a track on the news, trends, updates. And that's what I do. So at this channel, Invest Desk, right? This is a channel I created for so that we can have latest updates and news to devise a better strategy for all of the community, crypto community, or for us to buy certain cryptocurrency as we move forward. So, all right, let's see. Some comments here. Fly Guy Gaming, holding for the long run. You betcha. That's a perfect strategy. So you want to hold for the long run? There you go. That's what you want to be at, and that's a good position to be in for everything. Like even the stock market. Even if you were to invest in Dow Jones and Nasdaq or other, stocks or bonds, look at it. It's a yearly return, right? So you get a yearly return of what? The average yearly return is what? 8%, 10%, maybe 12%, depending on how risky the portfolio is, right? So I have a portfolio also, at Fidelity or the the Roth IRA or the IRAs, for example. They're investing my stocks, and guess what? I'm only earning way less. Okay. Whereas if I were to take a look at the average return on some of these for 1 year, okay, not 1 day, not 1 week, we're talking about a year, right? 365 days. Your return will be at least over 100%, if not thousands of percent. Okay, so these dips are actually, for myself, they're great. I see them as an opportunity. Okay, I don't see them as, well, panic selling. Hey, sell. No. You want to be able to hold or keep your, just stay relaxed. It's okay. It's just cyclical. Okay, and also you want to be able to hold it. So even if, and markets have crashed in the past too, by the way, just like Bitcoin. Remember, I gave an example earlier. So Bitcoin, all of a sudden from like 20, 30,000 came down to 3,000 at one time. Well, what are you going to do, right? But those people who held on to it, right, who bought it at 2,000, 3,000, and now it's at 47 currently, right, and it went all the way up to 58,000, guess what? Just calculate the percentage return on investment for those 1 year or 2 year or 3 years. So it's the same thing. So the goal is to take a look at these dips carefully, and then from your own scenario, from your own buying power, right, you ought to be able to accumulate and keep that average cost down, because it's going to give you a lot of benefit. Okay, if you think about your average cost, keep it down, it's going to give you a lot of benefit. And here's the key benefit. What's going to happen is over time, your average cost is going to low or even lower, because you're always buying slowly, as much as you can afford, and then accumulating it, right? And then once after a year or so, 6 months, 1 year, the price goes up to $1, guess where you are? So if your average cost is 0.04, and Dogecoin, for example, that's what we're looking at the chart here, goes to $1, it's thousands of percentage of return that on an average stock portfolio, you're not gonna, I've not experienced it in many years I've been into this. Okay, so the goal is to, of course, research the cryptocurrency, research Dogecoin, for example, or other coins that you're investing in, for example. taking a look at news, updates, see where the market is going, see how the community is accepting it, see how companies are responding to it, and then make your decisions to buy. And that's exactly what I do. And this channel at Invest Desk, by the way, is the channel for you to take a look at the latest news, strategies, and then be able to, make wise decisions for yourself. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor, but I do this for myself. I do a lot of research, and this is the reason why I created this Invest Desk channel, so that I can share my expertise and share my research and share my knowledge. So yeah, go ahead, hit the like button, guys, if you have not already. Keep those likes coming, and do subscribe. I value and appreciate your feedback. And where's my jar? Hey, I gotta keep bringing that up. Okay, there we go. This is a subscription jar, by the way. Not a subscription, but this is a subscriber jar, guys. All right, if I can say it right. So hey, hit the subscribe button, guys, and share this with other friends and colleagues, so you're able to see the exact and latest and greatest news and updates on this channel. All right, so we're talking about the average dollar cost pricing. So yeah, put some comments in there. Let me know what you think and what your strategy is about keeping your average cost down as you purchase more and you're getting into some of these purchasing your own portfolio. All right, let's get back to our comments. Holding for the long run, Sky Guy, let's see. And then Dogecoin was faster at 0.05 than BTC. Yes, definitely. We took a look at yesterday. So if you follow the stream yesterday that I had, we had Dogecoin steady at 0.55, right, which is not bad, 0.055, which was awesome, even though BTC was going down. And even today, it's just we see the actual entire market on a downward trend, but still Dogecoin is at 0.045. So it's definitely following the market a little bit, but it's still strong in some respects. Love your content and love the channel. Hey, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Appreciate your support. So yeah, get those comments coming in, get those likes. Make sure you subscribe and share. Definitely, I'm going to be talking about a lot of strategies here that I use for my own portfolios. And of course, today's topic is the average cost. Okay, and this is a wonderful strategy, by the way, for actually creating a portfolio for yourself and then focusing on average cost in the long run, guys. So you always get a benefit after 1 year, because everything is yearly returns, right? There's no such thing as daily return and an hourly return. Okay, well, to some people there are, because if you're in it for, let's say, pumping and dumping, an active trader, you can actually do pretty well if you are doing your research and you're up to date on several things. For example, if I was a day trader, right? For example, I would have, I bought it at 0.42. Okay, that's 10,000 worth. And guess what? Just a few hours or tomorrow, for example, it goes back up to 0.55. I'm going to double my money. Okay, or 0.46 or 0.06. I'm sorry, or where it was. So look at the difference. That's about 10% return right in 1 day. Now that's for active day trading, of course. It's only for experienced individuals who know exactly, who are onto things, who have done the research, who are absolutely on top of everything. And this channel, by the way, is the channel that I'm creating streams every single time there's a new update, new news, something comes up, and we're evaluating different strategies. So you're also getting knowledgeable, and I'm of course getting a lot of ideas from you guys also. So make sure you comment and let me know what your thoughts are and how you're strategizing your own portfolios. But the idea is this: you want to keep your average cost down as much as possible and hold it as you move forward, and think about a yearly return. Okay, so you want to be able to think about a yearly return and not a daily or weekly return. I mean, you can do so if you're actively doing it, okay? But those of us who are actually in the long run holding it, we're thinking, year. And if you look at Dogecoin, just 1 year, let me bring up, let's say, 1 month, 15 days, 1 day, 1 month. Okay, let's say a monthly return. If you take a look at Dogecoin, let me make the chart here so you can actually see. You'll notice that in the last week or so, even, okay, let's not go that far as 1 year, just take a look at this. Okay, so the price of Dogecoin was at 0.002, 0.003, right? And this was in 2020, 8/2/2020, right? This was the date. Think about it. That's not even a year, is it? No. And it was just kind of holding, right? Same price, 0.002. And this is 11/8/2020. This is November 2020, which means about 3 months ago, just 3 months ago. So 3 months ago, it was at 0.002. And right after 3 months, it's at 0.046. Okay? This is like 1,000% or 1,000% return. Okay? Now, this is just 3 months, right? So what happens if we hold it for 1 year, right? So you're looking at a yearly trend, right? Remember? So at the end of the year, and also talked about taxes, by the way, right? So if you buy and sell and you're making money, then be careful. You probably going to end up paying capital gains taxes, okay? If you're selling. So you want to make sure that you span your portfolio to 1 year. And then once you do that, if that is your strategy, okay, and everyone is different, guys. You can have your own strategy. This is something that I do. Has been working pretty well. Okay, so what you do is you just put together a bunch of stocks or portfolio, right? Like I've just a crypto portfolio for myself, and you hold it, and then you focus on the average costing. Keep that low. So you keep accumulating, buying at low. That will keep your low cost. Okay, and at the end of the year, guess what? Yes, you can do the math. It's easy. Okay, but if you're just worried about this particular drop, for example, oh geez, it just dropped today and it's going to go down, and you're getting panicky, that's not, it's not the, no big deal. Okay, that happens. And again, you're not the only one. Okay, we're all in it. Even the Bitcoin folks are in it. Okay, like Bitcoin 58, now it's down to 47. Right? Think about it. So what about those people who bought at 58,000 or 55,000 a Bitcoin? They're at 47, so they're thinking, geez, they've lost all their money and this and that. Well, not necessarily. Okay, so we're in it for the long run, and that's exactly what we're going to do and doing, is taking a look at our average costing. Okay. Because once we do that, that's the idea that will drive and keep our cost low, whether it's for Dogecoin and for other cryptocurrency as well. Okay, so not just Doge, but other, as well. So where's my jar? So welcome, guys. So those of you who've just joined, welcome to Invest Desk. This is, let's see, your number one channel for investing in cryptocurrency with daily updates, news, and forecasts. And my name is Syed, and we are talking about the average cost for your portfolio, for your buying portfolio, and when is a good time to buy and maintain that average cost down to a minimum. Because you're going to take a look at 1 year's worth of time, right? Okay. If you're not a day trader, for example, then you want to be able to, benefit from these dips. And that's what we're after. Okay, so as we go down, as the price goes down, and again, the entire crypto is down, not just Dogecoin, but the entire cryptocurrency is down. Okay, all right, so let's take a look at the original chart here for Doge. There we go. So it's at 0.046, right? So it's coming back up a little bit, okay? So it's holding steady. So the idea, once again, is you want to hold and you want to buy low, okay? It's always a good strategy, but this is a strategy for the long run and not something that you want to be able to do, you know, every single day. So even though you're on top of things like this channel I've created, Invest Desk, my goal is to give you that information every single day and talk about different strategies that you're implementing or you're taking a look at for yourself even, right? All right, so leave a comment, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, okay? So Dogecoin is hyped up, of course, by Elon Musk, right? And he wants, you know, everyone to sell Dogecoin so he can buy it, right? But Dogecoin, you know, inventor, we talked about this, right? He invented it in a few hours, right? And I didn't think it would be a phenomenon or this trend or something that catches fire, right, so to speak. And that's really, you know, our goal is to make it a people's currency, okay? So, and Elon Musk is actually a strategist and also a thinker, right? He always thinks something long run. He's not worried about short-term gains, okay? And if Elon thinks it goes up to $1, $10, $50, or $100, and so now what do? I use Robinhood to buy Doge. I use Binance, right? So there are several exchanges that I use and work. So it's up to you what platform you use. So put a comment and tell me which platform you use to buy yourself, okay? So yeah, all right, let's take a look at some of these comments here. All right, so whale sold yesterday. Did another start selling? Yes, great point, Elise. I appreciate the insight. Yes, yeah. So you know, a whale starts selling. So people, the whales have started to realize, right? They're thinking of selling, and they are actually actively selling now, which is great. That's exactly what Elon Musk is thinking of, or happening. And this is going to take Doge to the moon, okay? And that's exactly what it is, right? What if Elon Musk now buy like 10 million Doge? Well, Elon's goal is to make it a people's currency, okay? So Elon is not the way, you know, he's tweeting. He's been tweeting, and I've been watching very, very closely. And of course, I've been streaming every single time there is a new update. There's a new news, whether it's from Elon Musk, whether it's from the Dogecoin community, whether it's a news about Dogecoin developer. Go check out that you know, video or the stream on the latest of Dogecoin development, and where we talked about how developers are actually working on this you know, Dogecoin now, right? And Elon is kind of backing it up because Elon Musk is liking their tweets at Dogecoin developers, okay? So yes, definitely, that's what Elon is doing. He wants to be able to support this as a people's currency. And once again, it's for the long run, guys. It's not going to happen tomorrow, okay? So if you're thinking tomorrow, next week, 3 days from now, well, hey, let me tell you, it doesn't work like that, okay? And even if you think about this, and I mentioned this several times in this talk, right? If you were to invest in any stock portfolio, you're going to have yearly returns. No one gives you a daily return. No one gives you a weekly return. They always talk about 1 year, right? So, and that's what, you know, Elon's thing. So these whales, the point made by Elise in the comment is great. The whales sold yesterday. So what's happening is, if the whales keep selling, this currency, this Dogecoin is going to become mainstream. And we as supporters, we are the community, right? It's us who are going to drive, who are driving Dogecoin, right? So yeah, make sure you hit the subscribe button, like, and comment, guys. So I appreciate your support, because my goal is to, you know, get this community and get Dogecoin, kind of talk about it and give you the latest and news and updates as we move forward. All right. So yeah, whales are selling. Great news. Just excellent. And of course, the others will follow. If one is selling, the others will follow, because now And guys, another thing, by the way, just think about Elon Musk. He's not a simple guy like us, right? He's not a normal person, right? He's the world's richest man, or maybe the second richest man, right? And he has all this, things are happening. So, and he's very influential. Just one of his tweets can, make the prices go up and down. So he realizes this, right? And he also realizes that a lot of common people like us, right, retailers like us, we're in it. So he definitely watches our back, right? He doesn't want us to lose all of our money and things like that. So he's behind all of this, right? So that's a good thing, and others too, by the way. And one of the other streams that I talked about, where I listed all of the companies that actually have accepted Dogecoin as payment. Okay, and I think yesterday it was fun because Elon Musk on his Twitter had a video of cryptocurrency explained, and we took a look at the video. So go check out the stream yesterday. We actually it was just a 3-minute video about cryptocurrency, the way Elon explains it. Right? It was fun. It was great. So yeah, we had a lot of fun watching it just for 3 minutes. But it tells a lot. Okay, and just as a quick summary of that is, remember back in those days when people talk about gold, people talk about silver, people talk about dollar, right? Currency, paper currency. Well, what is the future? It's cryptocurrency. All right. And I gave an example yesterday that, remember when Windows was launched by Microsoft in early 90s, right? And I was one of the early adopters, by the way. I was one of the first, Microsoft advocate, huge advocate at that point in time, in early 90s. And so what happened? I remember people saying, well, Windows is not going to fly. Windows is not going to work. We cannot leave the keyboard, okay? That was the thing. That was the sentiment at that point in time. Well, think about it. Just 20, 30 years? Well, that's a long time, right? But think about it. Future, all right? So Elon Musk's strategy, or his thought process, is definitely long-term. Look at Tesla. Who knew there'll be self-driving cars, guys? Go back 10 years, go back 5 years, go back 8 years. Who would have imagined, right? So, and the same thing with cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is going to be currency that's going to be used mainstream. And one of my earlier streams, I talked about where banks are even trying to make this mainstream, or at least offer cryptocurrency as one of the mainstream, payment mechanism, right? So the idea is what? That's the future. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at comments here. Who else is? All right. Perfect. So yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And before I look at the comments, where's my jar? This is the subscriber jar here, guys. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. Hit the bell notification, because if you want to get the latest and greatest news and updates, because this is going to be the #1 channel for investing in cryptocurrency. We'll talk about strategies, and of course our topic today is your average cost, right? So you're buying at a low cost and you're averaging your cost out. So you're buying at a low price, and then maybe you're buying at a different price, and so on, but your average cost should remain low. All right, let's see. So yeah, I appreciate the support, guys. All right, let's see, what do we have? We have Chandra here, but I believe Elon wants to be another whale. Without being whale, how can he plan to make it, dollar in your view? That's a great question. But see, Elon is already a whale, guys. Okay, not the whale with just Dogecoin, right? He invested $1.5 billion in Bitcoin. All right. So he's not worried about Dogecoin. Dogecoin is just nothing. The price that is Dogecoin is right now is just peanuts, right? So but he chose Bitcoin instead of Dogecoin or any other currency, right? And of course, today we know that MasterCard, Visa, and other giant enterprise organizations, companies have started to use Bitcoin, right? So therefore, I think, in my opinion, right, Elon doesn't want to be a whale. He wants to have Dogecoin as a people's currency, and he's tweeted that several times, and that's what he's after. And if you refer to my stream, it was yesterday or day before yesterday, when Elon Musk tweeted Dojo for Doge, remember? If you've not, go watch that stream. I talked extensively about what Dojo is. So that's the supercomputer that Tesla is using, and that supercomputer is called, or the chip, right? It's called Dojo. Okay, so Elon Musk tweeted Dojo for Doge. Okay, and let me write that down so you can see Dojo for Doge. That was his tweet. And in that stream, we took a look at what he meant by that, right? So maybe he's thinking that he's going to develop this, he's in the process of developing this, supercomputer, for example, a chip called Dojo, right? And he's going to be using Dogecoin as a trading, buying and selling for their Tesla subscriptions or Tesla, other things that you want to buy. So here's the thing, right? So yeah, Elon doesn't want to be I don't think he wants to be. He's already is, but he wants definitely to get into something where he wants to be able to help people and get them he wants Dogecoins to be a people's currency, and that's what the idea is when we talk about the currency for the people. All right, so let's see. So yeah, overall the market was down. The entire crypto market is down, and whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's Ethereum, or whether it's Dogecoin, it took a hit. But right now, Doge is at 0.046, right? So see, it took a dip. It went all the way down to 0.041, or 3 or 1, something like that, and then it just stabilizes itself at 0.046. All right, so once again, our topic is average costing. So you want to be able to take a look at your portfolio, think about long term, whether it's 1 year, 2, 5. For example, my strategy is the different portfolios that I have. Some are 1 year, some are 2, some are 5. And if I average those out, in addition to averaging what's inside these portfolios, it turns out pretty well. Okay, so that's a strategy that I personally use. By the way, I'm not a financial advisor. It's just something that I do, something that I use, and I want to be able to at least share, and of course share your thoughts too. So let me know what you think, comment how you kind of work with your portfolio and your average costing. That way we know exactly who's doing what and what's the best strategy. All right, let's take a look at the comments. Omar said, just bought another 20k coins to the moon. Hey, that's a good price. That's a good time to buy, no doubt, because you probably would have bought it at 0.42, 3, 4, right? Somewhere around there, right? Less than 0.05. So definitely that's a great point. Thing you want to buy and hold, right? So, and just as an example, if you had 20k coins right now for Doge at this price, if this goes to 0.08, it's going to double that, right? So it'll be 40,000 coins, right? Something like that. So the idea is that, yes, holding it for, let's see, Omar says, yeah, holding it for at least 5 years. Wow, 5 years. That's awesome. Just like Bitcoin, guys. 5 years ago, think about Bitcoin's price and think about today's price. So Omar, yeah, we're going to be celebrating in a remote island, right? 5 years from now. So all of the community, in fact, we're holding it for long term. So our goal is to go to the moon, and that's really 5 years. I mean, we work all our lives, right? We work our lives, and we're 60 years old. So what happens in Bitcoin? People, how many millionaires Bitcoin actually created in the world? Hundreds of thousands, okay? Because the strategy was simple. Hold, and then just wait. So Omar's strategy here, one in the comments here, for 5 years. So if you hold Dogecoin for 5 years, all right, that's excellent. In my opinion, that's my strategy. It's excellent, right? So, and that's, I know it's a little long term, Okay, because who says 5 years? But guess what, guys? Time flies, right? That's what we know. Time flies, and before you know it, all right. Just like look at Bitcoin. Just go back a few years. Just not too long ago. Go back 5 years. That's what we're talking about here, for one of the for let's see, Omar here, right? So it's 5 years. So go back 5 years with Bitcoin. Where were you? Would you have been a millionaire today? Yeah, definitely. Why not? So same thing with Dogecoin. That's what we're hoping. So, and it's backed up by Elon Musk and other individuals who are actually wanting this to be a people's currency. And I also posted a video that was yesterday about what is Dogecoin. So go check that out too. And I talk about the technical aspects of Dogecoin. So that way you would know exactly, what Dogecoin is, what are the capabilities of Dogecoin, and how people are working at it. Okay, so even $100 now and waiting 5 years might be very, very profitable without breaking the bank. You betcha. So even if you were just to spend $100 right today, and then 5 years, you do the math. Oh, in fact, let's do the math. Let's see. If you had, let's say, and I'm just going to do it approximately, right? So if you had $100 invested in Dogecoin at 0.043, which is the current price, something like that, right? And then what happens in 5 years? This Dogecoin is just as good as Bitcoin. For example, it goes to 40,000, just like Bitcoin right now is at 47, but I'm just being conservative here, right? So 40,000. Is the price of Bitcoin share for each coin, right? And for $100, how many coins you're going to have for Dogecoin if you were to buy it today, right? So that's about 4,300. So if you multiply that by the actual price of 40,000, you're going to be a millionaire, okay, or at least close. So yeah, good point. So that's not the idea, right? So we're just speculating here, and which is fine because we're all in it for the long run, and that's the goal and idea, to be in the long run. Okay, it's not just a short-term strategy, and with just like anything else, you want to be able to hold for 1 year, right? At least a year, because you want to be able to get yearly returns, right? And everyone works like that. The banks, Fidelity Investments, Charles Schwab, any other brokerage house you go to, they give you a yearly return. They don't give you a daily return or a monthly return. So why not do it for yourself? Okay, so create a portfolio. That's what I do for myself. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but that's, I'm just sharing my own strategies with you guys. And of course, you're sharing your strategy, which is great. So yeah, leave a comment and make sure you hit the subscribe button, guys. I appreciate your support. And then, of course, hit the like button also. So we're talking about, the topic today is, of course, average cost of your purchase. So if you're maintaining your average cost down and you're holding on for a year, 2, or even 5 years, guess what? You're actually reaping the benefits twice. First, your average cost is down, and second, you're actually going to go to the moon, right? 5 years from now, just like Bitcoin, or other currency. And another important point, and let me put it in the comment. Do you think Dogecoin is undervalued? Okay, and we'll talk about that too briefly, but maybe another stream. But let's do this. So, in one of the comments here I put, do you think Dogecoin is undervalued? So leave a comment. Let me know what you think. All right, I think, yeah, definitely 0.045, 0.041, 0.043, 0.05. I mean, that's for this particular coin, which is again on the top, 15 on the list, right? Backed by Elon Musk and other individuals, and even companies are accepting this coin. Think about it. Is this the price? But yeah, just let me know what you think about Dogecoin. So if you've not hit the subscribe button, do that also. Appreciate it. Hit the like button. Keep those likes coming. And where's my jar here? Let me bring that up. This is our subscriber jar, so keep filling this jar, guys. Hit the subscribe button. I appreciate your support. Helps me get you the most updated and latest news about Dogecoin and other cryptocurrency. And here we're talking about the average cost of purchasing. You want to keep that low. So I bring these topics and we share these strategies as we move forward, because these kind of help all of us as a community, and for us to be in the long run. This is great, and that's what we would like to see as we move forward. All right, so Omar says, imagine Amazon announces they will take cryptocurrency, including Doge. And by the way, there was a news yesterday, and I think I shared that too. It's a good point, where somebody has petitioned publicly to Amazon to accept, cryptocurrency. Yeah, that's an awesome point, Omar. Great. What's going to happen? Think about it, right? So if Amazon starts to accept cryptocurrency, whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's Dogecoin, especially if it's Dogecoin, we're going to the moon, right? We're going to the moon. That's for sure, right? So yeah, so eventually, the long-term strategy, right? Think long-term. Think one year from now, 2 years, or even 5 years. It's not a long time, guys. Okay, I know it. You have to have patience, right? That's important. So that patience is necessary, and that's kind of important as you move forward. But at the same time, while you're moving forward, you want to be able to keep your costs down. You want to be able to accumulate more at a lower price, right? As much as you can. So not only even if you wanted to sell it, right? If the price goes up, you always can. I mean, no one's stopping you, right? That's the strategy. It's just a strategy. We're just discussing strategies, right? So it's just up to you to decide how you want to do this. Okay. Alrighty. So awesome, guys. Appreciate your support. Thank you for tuning in. Those of us, we talked about several key things of why Dogecoin, what is the average costing strategy for Dogecoin, the Dogecoin price prediction, how moving forward. It's a good idea to be it in the long run, and how it kind of works out and works out well for when you talk about your cryptocurrency portfolio and your average costing. So, all right. So I'm going to tune out right now. So if you can hit the subscribe button, I appreciate it. I appreciate your support. It's a wonderful community to be in. And if something comes up next, I'm going to be jumping in one more time. And with this, yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thanks so much for joining. So if you want to watch it again, if you watch my other tweets, that's fine. Or my not only just tweets, but also the streams that I've been doing recently. So you'll get the latest information and updates, so you can devise a good strategy for your own self as you move forward. Because that's really the ultimate goal for all of us as we move forward, into a long-term investment strategy. All right. Let's see, what else do I have here? All right, perfect. All right, guys. So I'll see you guys later. I'm going to actually go and get some coffee, and we'll touch base again as soon as something new comes up, new topic. So yeah, leave some comments, things that you want to talk about. So there's certain topics. I was doing my doctorate. I'm a PhD, so I enjoy this research, and that's great because I would like to understand these better. So yeah, if there's something that you want to talk about, something that you want to discuss, yeah, leave a comment. I'll take a look at that and see if we can talk about. But today's, just to summarize, our goal was to talk about the average costing strategy for Dogecoin and your crypto portfolio, okay, and how that pans out for the next year or 5 years and so on. All right, so with this, let's see. I'll leave you at this, and let's take a look at a little bit of music, and I will See you soon.